has been either a note left or something right off the bat.
Who benefits for her not being here?
And what were they after? If it was a burglary, what were they? That's what they said. Maybe it was a burglary gone bad and she got...
I don't understand.
There we go. Hello to the few people that are in here. So, hi, welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. Give me 2 seconds just to kind of catch up. And we're on both channels, the main channel and Misfits Media. I would like you guys to subscribe over at Misfit Media because that is where I would like to do the majority of my true crime and eventually not use this channel. Though it looks like we're going to be remonetized as of tomorrow on this channel. But the other channel is very close to being monetized as well. So, whichever works for you guys for right now. But I'm going to go in the chat in the main channel. AMZ Beloved really quick. Just kind of get a sense that you can hear me. Okay. So we've got, hello. Come on in, as JLR would say, come on in. As you can see, we've got 3 feeds up there, and then I've got X over here at the bottom with, well, it's Groundhog Day again. So I did asking people if they wanted me to go out there. I am going to go out there in a little bit, but my kid's dad to mom mode it for a while, and they're being pretty cool. So hopefully we can go for at least an hour. Get an hour banger out of it or whatever. But we're watching multiple streams from the Nancy Guthrie. We've got on the top left, which I assume is the same for you, is 857 Tucson. Then below him, we've got JLR. They're basically streaming from the same location. I'm not sure if they're riding together today, but for right now, they seem to be in the same spot. And then to the top right, we've got a new channel that I actually found that I actually really quite like, and I'm going to unmute him in a second because I like his commentary quite a bit. He's given us a bit of a different angle. His name has gone live. I've put all 3 links in the chat, but I am not currently seeing them in the chat, so let me drop them again really quick. But good morning. Was everyone watching live last night after I ended? So last night we were basically just watching Dolly and JLR to kind of just get their bearings, see if they could find the location that's swatted. It looks like Brian Enton got the tip, and the tip, I'm not exactly sure. As of right now, let's go to, so we've got, here we go, it says, again, well, it's Groundhog Day, because here's JLR's tweet. Let's follow JLR account that I have made follow only true crime. So no law enforcement is at their house, says JLR. I am shocked. No law enforcement in the NATO crime scene tape. Neighbors tell me that this is the house. No one is at home, and what's going on here? Where's Nancy Guthrie? So essentially is a picture of the home. Ran up and swatted last. They didn't have to SWAT. I guess they had SWAT teams ready in case it became hostile. But they ended up, the people ended up coming out willingly. And then if we go, let me just zoom out. All right. But I can at least see it, and I'll read to you what I'm seeing here. So I'm just going to type in Nancy Guthrie. I don't know if it's Guthrie or Guthrie. I honestly don't know. I've been saying Guthrie because of Guthrie, is it Georgia or Tennessee? There's also Guthrie's in Alabama, which is like a bomb-ass chicken finger place. So that's what I've been calling Guthrie. 16 minutes ago, staying on top of what happens today. Also getting ready for our News Nation special at 8 p.m. Eastern time. That sounds cool. Going to go through everything we know from start to finish in the Nancy Guthrie disappearance. So I will definitely be watching that tonight. Like I said, Brian Enton is amazing on the ground reporter. He's got his own channel now, but he also works with News. I think he still does. Works with New Nation as well as Ashley Banfield has recently started her own channel or started going on it more. I don't know how long she's had a channel, but she also works for News Nation. She's been doing this forever. Brian Enton has been a reporter, especially on the ground reporting. And the two of them together, I mean, obviously they're getting tips that the regular schmegular media isn't getting. So he was able to actually be there last night beyond the tape. So really quick, hold on. All right, so Dad's Gone Live. All of these channels have said that they're okay with you sharing them out and sharing their content. So we're going to just give them credit where credit's due. And I've liked all the live streams. So we've got Dad's Gone Live. I have to keep. Haimsey, you are correct. Like the city you mentioned. Thank you. That's what I thought, because someone was saying Guthrie, and I was like, I think it's Guthrie. So Dad's Gone Live is top right. And we'll unmute him in a second here. He's also had some, but as he's been driving around, he's had the police scanner going. We've got JLR. And him and 857 Tucson, who's a local channel that does great with the police scanner, especially when he has it. Because I can barely understand the police scanner. I've been listening to him forever. But he has it where they, oh my God, I can't think. Hey, Sweet Misery, how's it going? I'm going to give you a wrench. Hope your trip was going well. It was popping off last night. You're probably sleeping. Almost in San Antonio. You're making good time. You might make, I mean, if you guys wanted to, and all three, you know what I mean? If y'all switched off, you probably could make it by tonight, but I wouldn't push it. San Antonio. I haven't driven in a hot minute. Why are you going south? I guess Louisiana south, right? But isn't that, I don't know. I would have gone north and got into Louisiana, then went south. But hey, driving through the middle of Texas is kind of cool, I guess. Don't eat any fresh sausages. Don't ask. Well, I'll tell you why, actually. One time I was driving to San Antonio with my aunt from Dallas and her friend from work. And thank God at the time I was a vegan. And there was nothing to eat because it was literally rural, middle of nowhere, Texas. Like no road stop, no DQs, nothing. And all of a sudden, then their asses were starving. So we come across a stand and they're like, we're going to go get some summer sausage. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds like a bad idea. And 20 minutes later, I'm driving because they're both feeling like sick to their stomach. I was like, thank God for being a vegan. So just FYI, Dolly saw a body and went home. Yes. Oh, she's going. Yeah, I guess you are going very south. Hey, Texas, feel you. So you hit El Paso, which I wouldn't say is a big town, but it's the first big one, and then you got San Antonio. I like it. I like San Antonio. Was basically trying to, because there was no confirmed address. They had like 2 or 3 different addresses that people were going by. And did I drop JLR's link? Hold on. So who have you got? We've got Dad's Gone Live on. And JLR's in the bottom. He's got he's got a court Pima live scanner. Again, live scanner. I guess one's virtual. He's got court from Pima County going. And he's got live on the scene with Nancy Guthrie. So definitely give him a subscribe. I've always watched him for the court stuff and the scan. It's always good. I think, and Buller and Betty made a good point. Like, we've got now what, 4, if you count me, 5. I think there's at least a couple TikTokers out there. And, you know, we got all these media together, probably somewhat. I don't know how much they work together. But because Brian Ensign wasn't, you know, he was keeping that information for himself last night, which understandable, for the safety integrity of the search too. But hey, Rochelle, what's up? Yeah, the top right keeps freezing. I keep freezing, so just bear with us. JLR and 857 have pretty good service. Hi. Running on 2 channels, so not sure which one your chat you're in, but hello, hello. And I'll put everyone's comments up in a bit when I can. All right, so we've dropped the chat, the fair use and all that stuff. All 3 channels have given permission to feed. Yeah, it looks like 857's lagging now. So 36 minutes ago, Brian Ensign said, while there are no arrests, I'm told investigators are still interested in leads from last night. It's all ongoing. Down leads, no arrests, no signs of Nancy. That is what Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos just told me about last night. I'll tell you right now, Pima County Sheriff really needs to relinquish this to the FBI, honestly. And they're wasting a lot of fucking resources on a tip. You need 2 SWAT vehicles deployed for a non-hostile situation. That seems excessive and excessive. This county can barely allow. I'll tell you what happened to me this summer. I had this bum ass motherfucker that moved across the way from us, right? And at the time, they had like 5 dogs. I saw him slam one of the dogs on the ground and make it to where it was unable to walk. And after recording that, he then brought out 2 dogs the same day, later in the day. And I didn't know what to do because I didn't actually see it. I heard it. But then I saw him carrying this dog around the dog park. I live right by the dog park. In the building, he keeps carrying the dog around. He put it down. It can barely walk. So it hit that pavement. This is like 5:30 in the morning, right? So later that afternoon, I'm working, or I was off. I can't remember. But it's when I was at Geico. Anyways, because the noise, especially when I'm working, I'm more aware of it because I have to like close my windows and stuff. So I hear the dog barking again, but it's not a dog barking at another dog. It's like a dog barking in defense. So I go over there and this guy is literally pummeling this dog with punches. And this is a wiener dog. Okay. So at that point, I go outside and I start saying something. And I tell him, you don't hit dogs like that, especially little ones. Da, 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 da. He gets in my face, tells me that she keeps pissing on the floor. I'm like, okay, well, we have laminate floors, wipe it up. You don't beat the fucking dog. Yada, yada, yada. The guy ends up running up on me, throws the dog on the floor, mind you, runs up on me and proceeds to get handsy. So trust me, I got handsy back. But then I called the fucking police in Pima County. No one ever arrived. Ever. So they're highly understaffed. To have that many sheriffs at an event that doesn't pan out seems a little dumb and obsessive. And you got the FBI there. Let them do it and back the fuck off because you clearly don't know what you're doing. Yeah, the possible chip on the shoulder reasons of Nano. He will end up resigning over this. He should. Too much foot traffic. Girl, you're right about that. Me and Sweet Misery Seriously. Ignorant as fuck, unhelpful as fuck. Oh, that's cool. The smart move on. Wait, how the fuck? Are they lagged or something? I'm like, how is it? They're pointed the exact same way, the exact same. Okay, there we go. They are a little behind. That's weird. And then we've got what's his name over here? Dad's gone live, and he's got the opposite angle. So I like that. You know, and if Dolly shows up, which I'm not sure if he's going to show up today, he should do the same angle he normally does from like up that cul-de-sac hill, stare right down at the house, and then you'd have like all angles. You know what I mean? But nothing's going to happen. I mean, it's just more of like kind of interesting. I mean, something might happen, but I'm assuming not in front of her house, unless, you know, the FBI swarms it again for whatever reason, or the sheriff show up for whatever reason to further investigate. But it's not like she's just going to waltz up to her house. But it's more the media circus right now that's being kind of like, I'm highly surprised that as many are still out there as they are. And I see that a couple of them are lagging. FBI was called. The sheriff has jurisdiction over FBI. Is that true? Until they find out that it's like a state-to-state case or something, or they've gone international or something like that, then the FBI, I think, has the right to take over. But as of right now, it being only local, I think you're right. It's destroying a possible crime scene. FBI should be called being should have been called being national news. I mean, the Pima County Sheriff searched for all of 48 hours, like on the ground search. They clearly found something that made it warrant not to continue searching on the ground. You know what I mean? This guy's just walking right up to the camera. That's my ass on Monday. You can see him over here. Yeah, I'm not going down there with all these fucking angles. Fuck that shit. If I do, I'm sitting in the car. Get hackled. I don't know. At the same time, I don't care. I'm 5 months pregnant. I shouldn't care what people say, but it's funny. You're so fat. Am I supposed to be skinny? If I was skinny and 5 months pregnant, then people would be talking, well, she don't even look pregnant. I can't win with fucking people. You just can't. I gotta stop giving a fuck. And I really don't, but it's just, yeah. Fake ass videos. It says Pima County Sheriff Chris Nano says that it could take weeks, months, and even years to find missing Tucson woman Nancy Guthrie. Nearly 400 investigators, including FBI, are still working on the case, and recent detentions and SWAT raids led to no arrests. This motherfucker. Weird, because this is the Range Rover, I think it was, that they were looking in last night. I think two of the people that were detained out of the home that they went to, and then one was detained out of this car, something to that effect. And they went to all of this and then find nothing. So weird. Says, I have heard the sources which believe Annie Guthrie's hubby, Tommaso, remains a person of interest in the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. Guthrie, now you got me saying it wrong. Even though I've queried over media types, nobody responds to my question about him. Miss Banfield, where is he? Right? I mean, I think they're all staying Airbnb or hotel, wherever Annie and Savannah and the rest of the family are. I'm assuming he's with them. And we don't know where they're at either. So, I mean, they're not going to be like, oh, he's staying at the Best Western in an apartment in room 105. Like, one minute breakthrough. Yeah, clickbait, probably. What is this?
All right, everyone. We start off today talking about the Nancy Guthrie case. It looks like there might be...
Who's this guy? Hold on, we're making this big. Oh, there's no point, I guess. Hold on. Who is this, though?
some sort of breakthrough. There was a raid last night, actually, on a 10 miles away from Nancy Guthrie's home. They
Wait, sorry, it's probably echoing. I don't have my headset plugged in. Hold, please. All right.
Requisitioned a vehicle. They have now found DNA that they're testing. Apparently, there was a pair of gloves that was found, too. It could be the same ones that you see on the alleged perpetrator, actually in the original video which was released. Now, Nancy Guthrie, this is in Arizona, outside of Tucson. Nancy Guthrie was abducted. That much is pretty clear, unfortunately. Her pacemaker app was turned off, and
Well, it wasn't turned off. It just could, because it was attached to, I think, her Apple Watch. And so once she got far enough away from it, clearly it's not connecting any further. Same thing, it probably was on her phone. It's safer than Florida, the most popular state for snowbirds. Yes, there's snowbirds from all over Canada, especially. It is about the time when they're leaving. Usually the gem show comes, and then when the gem show leaves, they leave. Is typically how, usually gem show, and then we've got the rodeo coming next week, which is like a really big thing out here. The kids even get like 2 days off for the rodeo, and then they get like early days every other next week. So fun. But after those two events, it's pretty much, that's when the snowbirds leave. And so this is kind of, that's what someone was saying, that all these Airbnbs are selling out and all these hotels are selling out, which, there's gem shows coming to a close soon. Other than the rodeo, which is more of like a local thing, it doesn't really bring the people like the gem show does. So all these people running Airbnbs and everything are really like loving it right now because they're all sold out. Car rental places are all sold out. I was listening to someone last night who said he has a friend that rents cars, and he's like, I could rent you a bike right now even if I wanted to. Let's keep it.
Try to obscure her location, presumptively. At the same time, it looks like it looks like it was a violent.
Yeah, that's definitely not. That's a little late for most snowbirds, March, but that makes sense. Depends, really, because most of them come because it's nice, and it's going to start getting crappy at about end of February. If it's like last year, if we're lucky, about early March. But last year it got hot quick, so I think they were leaving a little earlier than normal. I live in the country, and snowbirds make a huge difference in traffic. Oh yeah, and for us, like, you get the snowbirds, and then the school goes back into session, like the college, so the traffic gets a little better. But then, I mean, most some students drive. There's just traffic all around out here. Snowbirds and then college, and they kind of like ebb and flow, you know what I mean, between each other.
Violent event because there was blood recovered. They reported on that originally. So this was not just, somebody went there and she was befuddled and confused and just wandered off with strangers or something, who then demanded, what is it, $1 million in Bitcoin or something like that. Been a violent struggle. I do not believe that she will be recovered alive. I don't think that because she's got chronic health issues for which she has to take medication, I can't imagine that she's got access to that medication wherever she has been, possibly died, to begin with. She could have been dead days ago. I don't think that they're going to recover a living person. I think that this is a ransom scam. The family has answered in the affirmative saying, yeah, we'll pay the fucking Bitcoin, just give us our mom back. I don't think that you're going to get your mom back except in a pine box, unfortunately. Considering the chronic health issues, the likelihood of a struggle in this particular case, and the fact that there's been no further correspondence even after you said, hey, we're willing to pay, just bring our mom back, means probably that she's dead. That's unfortunately likely to be the case. Now, as for the perpetrator, they've identified that it's probably a male of average build, average height, nondescript. In other words, they're focusing in on the backpack. You can look at footage from local stores and see, recently did somebody buy this particular model of backpack because it's a branded name. Can we figure out maybe who done it from that? That's probably into now. I would be very surprised if they weren't looking into store footage from local Walmarts and things like that. It'll take them a while, but it's doable. And this individual in the meantime, and it could have been a group of individuals, let's face it, this could have been just one of a number of people involved in this. It could be cartel related, it could be just a criminal group, it could be people with a bone to pick with this family. So there are a number of different leads that they're going to have to look into, but they did conduct a raid on a separate property. They grabbed a vehicle, they recovered apparently DNA evidence, and then they have potentially the gloves worn by the perpetrator. They're not sure.
Sorry, I was chatting with the kiddos. So I didn't mute it for a second. So allegedly, they found something that didn't belong to Nancy. I'm not sure if that is from blood being in the house or possibly that glove that allegedly they found but didn't find in the house. I don't know. It is very unfortunate, Rochelle. I totally agree. I agree she's sadly not alive. Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't think that they're going to get her back alive. My opinion, I don't feel like it was planned, because I feel like if it was planned by it just doesn't make any sense. Why? I feel like it was a robbery gone wrong. Like they somehow thought that her house wasn't occupied. Hold on a second.
Now the kitchen cracked.
Okay, hold on a second. Oh, we got it. Oh, there it is. I think it still needs to grow more though.
Yeah.
Maybe if you take it out of its bell.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to do one.
He's growing a capybara he got from school. Grow an animal. A couple of them. I hope they catch this person doing this to an elderly person is so heinous, even if their daughter wasn't known. Exactly. And I was saying, all of this resources and all this effort put into one person is a lot. The media attention, the YouTuber attention is more than great, because honestly, that's, social media and YouTubers are what's all against Gabby Petito, along with police and FBI and everything. But it really was the help of YouTubers. And same thing with Emmanuel Haro. I feel like the same thing with that was last summer, and then we had the baby out in Georgia. What was his name? With the mom and the trash dump that they were looking for him in, and finally they found something. But that was really a lot of pressure being put on that police department by YouTubers. The media in this case is so big. It's a national case, but so was Gabby Petito. I mean, look at Gabby Petito. There was a lot of people out front of that house protesting, but there was media, but it wasn't like this. Yeah, I bet Rochelle, it stressed your brother out. Not gonna lie. I'd lose my mind if this happened to my mom. Yeah, even I didn't even have the best relationship with my mom, and this would drive me insane. It's like, it drives me insane that any elderly person is having to deal with this. That they would do this to any elderly person. So without, if it's not for money, it's not for ransom, that it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. You know what I mean? But there have been ransom notes, so it's so up the air right now. It's getting ridiculous. It's going to be one of those cases that really isn't going to be much. I don't know, because there's been a lot of tips that have led to people being detained, but it hasn't gone anywhere. And a lot of these other cases, you just see people sit there for weeks, a month, or sometimes they're never detained. You know what I mean? Like in the Summer Wells case, her parents have never sat in jail for that case ever and been questioned. They've been questioned, I'm sure, but they've never sat and were detained. You've never seen the SWAT team fucking pull up at the fucking Ben Hill Road and start, which they probably fucking should have, you know what I mean? Because I'm sure she's somewhere around there, in my opinion. Or she was at some point. I think she was moved. But, just imagine if more coverage like this was given to everybody that goes missing. I was playing that Searching for Daniel Robinson last night. His dad, who has a YouTube channel, he used to get astronomical views like these channels, and now he's getting 4 or 5 people. And it's just so sad. It's like he's packed up and moved across the country to live in Buckeye, I think. I don't know if he still lives there, but that's also local. I should go up there sometime. It's a little further than Phoenix, but that case is always like close to home, touch my heart. That's another weird one. They found his Jeep. He's in the middle of the desert. They never found him, and that just rings you get a lot more, and this is really horrible, but a lot of people don't realize that, when it comes to trafficking, first you think sex trafficking. Yeah, that makes money, but, selling a body for body parts and organs makes a lot more money. So unfortunately, when you think these people have been sold into trafficking, it's probably the latter. It's probably not, where they're alive. And it's just very, very unfortunate. The other thing is she's so old. I don't see that even being something on the table. It just makes up. There's people that said, okay, like Fox is just letting her know, okay, get ready. We might announce that you're alive, or get ready. We might announce you're dead. And she's sitting somewhere in Mexico drinking a tequila out of a fucking sombrero or some shit. That would be the best case scenario, that this is all just for show, for whatever fucking reason, for whatever psyop, if you ever believe in any sort of conspiracy theory stuff, that this is to distract from something else. Maybe the Minnesota stuff wasn't doing it anymore, wasn't distracting enough people, not distracting the right people, you know what I mean? And this, because for instance, me, I see what's going on in Minnesota. I know it's horrible, but I also know that the government's basically making it horrible to get more. And that's my opinion. That's my opinion why they were going so hard up there. That's my opinion why they were making making it so aggressive. And it was to make a show to get people to hear. And then we thought, okay, that's to distract Epstein files that are being re-released and unredacted. And then it's well, are the Epstein files to look over here? And then now we have this case. And neither of those things really got me to look over here. But these missing person cases, when it gets this big, definitely gets me honed in. And then you look back and you're like, fuck, is this to look over here? You know what I mean? So what they're trying to distract us from, I don't know. But it's giving me distraction. It's giving me psyop at this point because it's just so ridiculous. But I hope they get him. Oh, look at Mount Lemon over here. It's really mountaining today. Oh shit, he's got a nice ass camera. Here, let's click in on him and look at the whole thing real quick.
Look.
Yeah.
You guys want to see? Hey, thank you so much again, Brenda. You guys want to see my other Zoom capability?
Want to see my zooms? You've seen Stranger Things. Zoomer. He's a zoomer, just a different kind. Cadaver market for medical school pays a lot. It's disgusting but true. Girl. Here, I'm gonna need him again for a second. Did you hear about that story where they were reporting from a hospital and they're like, we have the best news ever today. A duffel bags were dropped off with like 200 kidneys, fresh. And the doctors are just like, this is amazing. Like, thank you. And it's like, got duffel bags full of kidneys, like fresh ones. No one's questioning where the fuck these kidneys came from. Like, what? Like, that's how you know we live in the fucking Matrix. I'm just like, no one's questioning. They're like, yay, bags of fucking kidneys. It's like, yeah, something's wrong. Something, CERN fucked something up. Like, something's going on, man. Like, if you know, you know. Like, and that was it. You know, and the doctor's like, if you have, you know, we could really use some hearts and lungs. And it's like, are you literally asking for the other body parts? like, okay, this is fucked, man. This is all, you know, this is just showing you that they just, we're worth more in parts than we are as a whole human being. Basically. Fucking weird. Fucking dirty, fucking gross, fucking horrible. Like Cooch said, organs. Oh, what happened? Did he zoom too much? He zoomed in on his black dashboard. What happened? Why can't I hear him now? And did he mute himself? All right. We're going to put Jack over here.
1, 2, 3, testing. Okay, you guys can hear me.
I started like this stream. Must have been on my other account. I like his. I did like JLR's. I'll mute him for JLR talking about. It looks like something's going on over here. This guy just walks right up to the camera. That's what my big back ass did. I'm just sitting there like looking extra pregnant. That is beautiful today. I'm just looking at the mountain again. Just see someone waving its fucking hands to Guthrie. That'd be great. Somalian pirates up there and shit. But you never know. He's got a nice ass camera. How is he even live from a camera like that? Or is that a phone? It's gotta be a camera. He's probably got like a live U-pack or something. I do want to take flowers over there. Donations are not what you think. Not exactly moving. True. But you would think that, like, people die all the time. I don't know. McDonald's getting them and not freaking. We're just gonna try laying out conspiracy theories. McDonald's has no stock in farms, but does have stock in boards. The Trump shooter had no silverware in his house. That's weird. What's her name said that? Whitney Cummings. It's true though. Some people do have only like one fork and one knife when they live alone though. That was like my kid's dad. He had like maybe 2 or 3. Background noise and people walking by. looks just like looky-loos, really. Nothing really popping. Just taking pictures of stuff. Listening to this guy.
And of course they never are until they look into it further. So this is going to be a long haul thing, but with each passing minute, it's less and less likely that Nancy Guthrie is still alive. My thought is they'll probably eventually find the perps. They'll probably eventually find the body. But that's probably what they're going to find. They're probably not going to find Nancy Guthrie sitting in an armchair in a guarded basement somewhere. That's rather unlikely. It looks almost like it could have been a botched attempt. Maybe they just picked a place at random, and they're like, well, we're gonna take this person ransom and get some money, and then we'll go to the Caribbean or something like that. But then, when she put up a fight, maybe they accidentally killed her in the process. This is possible. If there was Nancy Guthrie's blood on the scene, and there was, that would indicate a struggle. So, I mean, you've got an 84 or 86.
I just press M, and then I don't have to fucking switch back and forth. Okay. What was I going to say? That they may have pistol whipped her, or hit her in some way that she started bleeding, and because she's on blood thinners, she just bled out. You know what I mean? And they didn't expect to kill her. You know what I mean? They just expected to like subdue her, and then it just went wrong. It went wrong, and that's why they didn't end up stealing anything. You know what I mean? And who knows? Like they haven't really actually said if anything was taken. They've just focused on a missing person at this point, so we don't know if anything was taken. It doesn't look like. I mean, it doesn't sound like it, but we again don't know. Or maybe, maybe it was for ransom, and again, it just got out of hand. Didn't realize she was on blood thinners, and I don't know. That blood still looks weird. It looks like someone coughed. You know what I mean? It doesn't look like dying blood. I don't know.
Damn, 9,100 feet. Holy cow.
6-year-old woman who has multiple medical issues, has a pacemaker and everything. I mean, she could have had a massive heart attack from the stress right then and there and simply drop dead. And then they're like, well, shit. So they cart the body off anyway and then, pretend that there's a possibility she's still alive in order to get the ransom. I have a feeling that they will end up finding at least one perpetrator, and it's probably more than one. It's probably a group, if I had to guess. They'll probably find that. And if they have DNA evidence, if these people have criminal histories, of course, their DNA might already be on file anyway. I think she'll be alive. I highly doubt that. It's hopeful. There's still the plausibility that she's still alive, that she's, tied up in a basement somewhere. But without her medication, it's only a matter of time before she expires anyway. I mean, they may not even be fully aware of the medical situation. They probably, or maybe they were and just didn't care, and they simply want that Bitcoin, and they want their money, their moolah, basically. It's kind of a sick situation when you're abducting an 80-plus-year-old woman. Somebody who's too feeble to fight back and so forth, has a family that cares about her and stuff like that. Kind of a sick situation when you think about it. Not that the government does any different on a regular basis, but, this is an old woman and clearly was assaulted at her property before she was removed from it. That much is abundantly clear from the fact that there's blood there. And again, normally with ransom scams like this, the person is not going to be alive at the end of the day. Basically, you're trying to take the money and run. She could die anyway. I mean, they don't even need to inflict death on her. Simply removing her access to her medications probably dooms her anyway. And again, the stress alone may have very well killed her. It's entirely possible. That would be why they would disconnect pacemaker app, not just for tracking purposes, but also so as not to alert anyone, hey, her heart just stopped. Yeah, due to stress. We were abducting her and she just had a massive coronary and shit, now we've got a dead body we got to deal with. The other possibility, since it's been days and days, is that these people are already well outside of Arizona anyway. That the body has been dissolved in a vat of acid or something like Epstein style or something like that. That's another possibility. And this does happen sometimes. If there's no forensic evidence really, you're like, well, there used to be a body here, but we have no further leads. If you can't identify the people that were actually involved, then it's going to be real difficult over time, unless they confess, turn themselves in, or somebody rats them out. This is why if it's a group of people, one of them might say, shit, we got in too deep. I'll try.
Did we unmute or not? Damn it. All right, I'm muted. Okay. I think that is exactly what took place. Now, because that's what the last three ransom letters have been. Hey, I know be a mega rat. If I do this, they're going to know I did it. They're going to know who told, and I need to go into hiding. So I need the money, the reward money, so that I can go. And something about like they could possibly lose their freedom, probably because they were involved. Those 3 emails are probably legit. And they haven't confirmed or said, but I'm assuming that it's a different Bitcoin address as the Bitcoin address that they got for the original revenue. I think they would have said it was the same Bitcoin address if it was the same as that one. So.
To gain, lenience in exchange for turning these other morons in. That's always a possibility too. That's another road that this can go. I have a feeling that it's going to take a while. Regardless of what actually happens, I have a feeling it's a long haul sort of case. That's about all. Peace out.
Peace out, motherfucker. All right. Let's go back. Myself, because I can hear myself. Let's see if we've got any new updates on the Twitter. Oh, that's a big ass news van right there with the fucking. That is, right? I don't know. It looks like lights. What's that guy? Let's see. Fox News and Fox News opinion. I love Fox, but the amount of coverage over Nancy Guthrie is over the top. Please reduce the speculation. If you get breaking news, then jump on it. But stop beating it like a dead horse, please. Says this one, YouTube. Twitter. X account. Let's see. Oh, it's like updating quick. It says 3 people were detained as a result, but all 3 were later released. And this was last night. Breaking. This is what it looks outside of Nancy Guthrie's house on Valentine's Day. Well, Garrett, thank you for breaking that. I don't know if that's like an oxymoron, but it's all good. FBI and Peabody County Sheriff's Department found new video of it. Look, that's AI bullshit. Jesus, damn, they're making memes already? 41 seconds ago, meet you? So you can kidnap me like Nancy Guthrie? I'm good, Pedro. Happy Valentine's Day. Deported forever together. Jesus Christ. That's a lot of hate. Damn. God damn. Sheriff led by so-called Sheriff Nanos is proving to be totally bloody incompetent. Causation of her death and failure to solve this case. Nanos is too busy being a wannabe hero to realize he's impeding his own case. True. But if my mom went missing, there would be nobody who would give a shit about the media. Why do you care about this case? Why do we have to watch so much news about it 24/7? Well, if you're like me, you don't have to. You could just, you want to watch. I don't watch regular cable TV because, I mean, I don't get very much for what you pay for anyways, but why don't you ask Samantha Guthrie what she's done wrong to cause this? Nobody has randomly kidnapped somebody's mother. There's a reason for it, and it's internal to the family. I kind of agree with that. I mean, that's typically what it is, but at the same time, the way that person looked, unless it was set up to look that way, which plenty of people are thinking it was, or this is like someone that somehow the brother-in-law and sister are still involved somehow. But that even wouldn't be Annie's or Nancy's fault, Anna's fault. I mean, if they're applying, it's because the Epstein files. It's a little extreme, you would think, but who knows? Just scroll rolling and see where you wait.
Thank you so much, Kate. Hello.
Engine 421. Back pain or injury. At 3505 South Gold Flower Avenue.
Got that shit like the professional.
We're in front of Annie's house right now.
I was in front of Annie's house.
So I don't know. I think this guy is media. The guy on the right, I think he might be media. Yeah, he's got a camera, so. Pretty sure the other guy is security. One guy I think is possibly media.
I used to have a little mini papillons. They're so cute. Down here in the bottom right, left.
Forward.
Right. Oh yeah. Right.
Where's your
finger?
Hey, dude, guys.
Yeah. That's all I heard. TMZ did say all the letters that had the same Bitcoin address except that first one. Right. Hey, is that the real Jen? Hold on. It's a fake Jen. Hi, fake Jen. What are you doing today? Or maybe it's Jen on a backup account. I don't know. We'll let it ride for now until you say something stupid. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And we're on 2 channels right now. Let me drop over to my second channel and see if there's even anyone in the chat over there. We do have one watching, so thank you to the one watcher over here. Oh, see, there's the links for. I'm glad it's in this chat. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Back to Easy Beloved. See what he's doing.
Tucson 143, if either you or Tucson 1 will be able.
Weathercat came through with a lunch donut. Thank you. Dad, question. What's up? The doc, what's up? Hannah, I do not know. We were played in the water with a risky bridge. I do not know. Oh, here comes some people. You guys want to drive to Annie's house, or Annie? This is the daughter's house we're in front of, off to the right. No, reception is horrible at Annie's. Or, at Nancy's, sorry. Maybe back up just a little bit so these people don't get upset.
What are you talking? Your reception was fine there.
I
think it's because of all the bandwidth being taken by all these news stations.
Just in case you go to check their mail. So that was Annie's house. So now we're gonna go to Nancy's house. These people are nice. They just waved at me. I did not pack any snacks whatsoever.
No snack.
So this guy, I think, is a private security watching over the property. So it is 4.3 miles to Nancy's house. I'm an idiot, dude. I thought those guys were FBI. I'll just say it. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot, guys. I'm an idiot. I can't believe I thought that was FBI.
Private security. Outside of Annie's, private security. The whole thing is, I don't know. They must not think they must have evidence to not put boots on the ground looking for her. You know what I mean? And this 2 days. I remember I was out delivering that Sunday. So the first day that she went missing, actually. Maybe it was the second, maybe it was the Monday following. One of the two. Sunday or it was the Monday following when she first went missing. Like it was either the 1st or the 2nd of February. I was out delivering and I was in the foothills on the west side of Tucson that head out to the national park. And, you know, I was going out to a house or something. And I did see like 2 or 3 search and rescue trucks out there. So I'm assuming they did a semi-canvas of like maybe walkable areas from different vantage points around different mountain ranges around here. I would hope that was the case because again, I did see search and rescue out there, but people go missing every day in the desert, so it could have been for anything, you know.
So this is the route we're on that night. If the information I was given is facts, I don't know because I don't know for sure. I haven't seen any official police reports. I'm gonna fix the phone charger real quick, so we might dark screen real quick. Oh nope, we didn't. We're good. Okay. What school, Robin? I don't know what school you're talking about. I have no idea about a school. I don't know how a school would be involved. I know nothing about that, so I need to get a...
Probably referring to Tommaso, the brother-in-law, the school that he works at. Oh, there we go. Actually. Brother-in-law worked, I believe, Northwest Catalinas of Catalinas. But I don't think there's any reason to go there. And again, we've dropped the links for all 3 of these channels in both of my channels. So it's good. Brick said, just like I said in Heidi's, the pacemaker company would have known if her heart stopped. So they would know the difference between it disconnecting and it just stopping, which would make sense. But I think it just disconnected because it just stopped giving a point. I mean, would they know the difference between the two? I'm assuming so. Let's go Arizona. So how did the kidnapper get in the house? It's not known how they got in. They were clearly at the front porch because that's where they got surveillance. So that's the surveillance that they showed. But they threw the back. I think they definitely tried to get in the front. What I find before, she had cameras that weren't even hooked up to any subscriptions, so nothing saved to like a cloud. Of course, Nest and Google have their own clouds, which is essentially, sorry, kids. Right, okay. So they're basically saying that it just disconnected because they're not saying her heart stopped. They would know, but they would know. So maybe they know that's one of the things they're keeping tight to the chest on, that they're not gonna let us know. You know what I mean? Which, I mean, if it's a homicide case, I mean, that's what it's been alleged. It's a homicide case with no body is what they're saying, but that hasn't been officially reported anywhere. But I think in the end, that's going to be where it's going to go towards. That's what it feels like. We're out here in the middle of the desert. We're right here at the border of Mexico. The chances of them finding her body if she's dead is very unlikely. But the chances of finding the suspects is not as hard unless they've already crossed over to Mexico, because the last ransom note, I guess, saying that they basically, this one wasn't ransom for her return, it was ransom for who giving it away, at least someone who was involved, person, at least, or something to that effect. Did they take any of the family? I kept seeing posts about them taking in some family. I don't believe they took any family in. No. Now, have they probably taken the family in and questioned them? I'm sure they have, because that's just kind of routine. Anytime they're going to, of course, question those closest to them. And I think they have questioned everyone from caretakers to, people they know that were like, and I think they've taken DNA from those people as well, and none of that matches the DNA that's been found in the house, as far as I know, as far as they're saying currently. But again, they could just be, wow. Let's see, FBI and Pima County Sheriff's Department. These fucking fake ass shit is getting ridiculous. I honestly thought the media would be gone this weekend. I didn't think they would stay out there beyond the week, but I guess it's just. These people going running, do they not know what's going on over here? That guy has a mustache. He looks a little too thin. I got me a gingerbread man Valentine that my kid got. He doesn't like gingerbread men, so he gave it to me. Woohoo! Yeah, and there are a lot of people that think that the family is still somehow involved. I mean, I think that's just because statistically, I don't know. If they are, they know what they're doing about concealing shit, because I don't know. I don't know where they're getting these tips from or why they think they're so credible that they're wasting SWAT team resources and stuff. It just seems weird. Was live. I fell asleep for like an hour. I took a nap, and then by the time I woke up, like, they on the scene for about 2 hours. And really anything like beyond they had missed by getting there. But you know, at the time they did, they had already arrested the people and left. So it was really just like investigators that came in, which I put up a short video of that. And then I just kind of watched for a little bit while longer, and then I fell asleep for like a good hour or two, and then I woke up at like 2 and they were still live, but just like wrapping up. He was like 7 off JLR, and then yeah, and that was it. Dolly never went back live after he saw the body. Understandable, and he was out there running around like a chicken with his head cut off. There was like 3 or 4 addresses that were being tossed around. And I think that might have been on purpose to kind of distract the media, to be honest. And hello, Kendra. Happy Saturday. And happy birthday again, Cooch. Belated or otherwise. I don't know if it's today or if it was the other day. And then the Megyn Kelly show, I don't know how you feel about her. I was told the same source, told by they're taking shots at you, you're standing on the target. So I think that's in regards to Ashley Banfield saying that they still think that the brother-in-law is a suspect. Here's a clip from whatever she's
offered in their back-to-back Instagram messages here. I just want to show you the messaging that both Savannah and now Cameron have offered in their back-to-back. And this again was Cameron alone last night.
This is Cameron Guthrie. I'm speaking for the Guthrie family. Whoever is out there holding our mother, we want to hear from you. We haven't heard anything directly. We need you to reach out, and we need a way to communicate with you so we can move forward. But first, we have to know that you have our mom. We want to talk to you, and we are waiting for contact.
Okay, so that's what we heard from Cameron himself last night. Now listen to the comparison.
As a family, we are doing everything that we can. We are ready to talk.
Whoever is out there holding our mother, we want to hear from you.
We want to hear from you, and we are ready to listen. Please reach out to us.
We haven't heard anything directly. We need you to reach out, and we need a way to communicate with you so we can move forward.
We need to know, without a doubt, that she is alive and that you have her.
But first, we have to know that you have our mom. We want to talk to you, and we are waiting for contact.
This poor family is desperate for someone, if they actually have their mother, to be in touch. It's
abject
actually
cruelty.
Make it possible for them to interact. It's torture.
It is abject
this
cruelty.
Is ongoing fucking
this
torture.
Is yet another scammer, or another alleged scammer. It is abject torture. It is why the penalties in the code are so steep for this, not just because of the interstate commerce, but because of the the interjection of the law enforcement's efforts, but also just the sheer torture that you put these people through.
Yeah, it's so awful. And you and I both have our doubts about whether it's even real. So it does, if I had to put money down, I'd say this is somebody intentionally torturing the family, trying to scam them, trying to get money from them in their most vulnerable, painful moment. And by the way, if that's true, then it means the real kidnapper, murderer, whoever hurt Nancy, however they did it, perpetrator is out there watching the whole thing, letting them suffer too. Like, it's not enough that they did something to the mother. They're letting the torture go on day after day after day. When I saw those 3 people, Ashley, the other night on camera, all I could think was, these are torture victims. That's what's happened to them.
Yeah. And so often, and we don't often see this, right? Because this is a very high profile case. But in so many of the true crime cases that we covered, this is the reality. This is what people go through when their loved ones go missing. Do they get a high profile ransom note sent to TMZ? No. But oftentimes they are left just as terrified and just as traumatized, especially if it's their children. And you don't see as much of it on the media.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get to your reporting, because it was very clearly the gorilla in the room yesterday at that presser, where it came up 3 different times, 4 total, with the sheriff saying, we have no suspects, no persons of interest, and then some broadsides, quite clearly, I thought, at you. I think you agreed. I watched your show this morning without naming you. And some of the media are piling on, if these influencers looking for clicks are reporting, irresponsibly. That's bullshit. You are not an influencer looking for clicks. I've known you 20 years. That's not who you are. So people are dismissing this at their own peril. It is everyone there. Even the sheriff said, no one's been cleared. Everyone's.
Doesn't she work for Fox News? This Megyn Kelly chick? Because if misinformation, it's Fox News over-reporting. The YouTubers aren't giving out anything. The only thing they gave out last minute was the address, and people were already there. The SWAT had came and, the arrested, the detainment of those 3 people had came and gone. So she does have her own channel. She is, of course, trying to get the scoop on the case. So, everyone is still a suspect, but the police have said that I don't think anyone's like the main suspect. So, but she seems to have a very solid source. So I don't know. Is that Dolly? Kind of looks like Dolly, but might not be him. I wonder. I think my kid said dad just arrived. I don't know. But that's what I was talking about when he was saying that, like, getting shot at, you're probably standing on the target. Could be. Could be. But we've been going to see. Hour and 15 minutes. I'll probably go 40 minutes. Looks like a lot of this is being. Let's see who's out there. I don't see Dolly. He's usually over there. Dolly might be done, honestly. I don't see him live. He's probably taking the day off. I even commented on my second channel on his post and said, like, I like in Portland, I saw a couple unalive bodies a few times. So I ran into a few people in Portland living there that were unalive. It's take care of yourself and even take the day to relax, put your feet up, just play JLR like the rest of us, like all the other chat from one of those other channels, doing great work. I mean, there's so much coverage now. We got this Dad's Gone Live. I don't know how long he's been out here, but channel out there with a phone last night, so it very well could have been him. I have seen a couple people. I thought they were just on TikTok, but it doesn't look like he's live yet. Now, people were saying that JLR is like in this car, which I mean, a lot of people do that. You can go to Walmart. I mean, a lot of people sleep in there successfully and like live that way to save money. So you might have a setup that I hope he's not just like sleeping in the seat, but you got to do what you got to do. Like some of these, I don't know, the reporters probably have hotel rooms, but it almost seems like Brian Ensign's in the car because he's like always there on the scene. I don't even know why I opened the live chat. Oh, is his live isn't going anymore? Oh, okay, he's back. Zoomed into the sky. I can't stand that sheriff right now. Really, the only updates from last night that there is no updates, and that it's big nothing burger yet again, like the Rio Rico incident. You know, at least it shows that they're like aggressively working on it. I think a little too aggressively. I think they need to let the FBI handle it, and the sheriffs need to kind of lay back a little bit, at least for maybe the weekend. I don't know, or they need to get out there and do some ground searches or something. This could be just all of a way to distract them from the real people, and maybe it's a way to get her across the border. They're trying to distract all the law enforcement away while they're like moving her, you know, or something like that. I don't know. It gives me a weird vibe. I'm telling you right now. It's not giving me a normal vibe by any means. No, we've basically lost Dad's Gone Live, so.
Seems like they're chasing ghosts, man. Yeah. Do you guys listen to scanners up here or no?
ABC channel here, ABC channel here in town.
Oh, okay.
Taking that.
So, you care if I ask you a couple questions? Not big. Not big at all.
No, I can't.
It's not like that.
Okay.
So,
Don't walk away. That's not a good thing. There's so many people live. It seems to the point. You know, for 2 minutes, if it's still abuse and you know something happens, maybe I'll go down there. You know, once following them, maybe I'll go down there with them. Less, you know what I mean? There's just much coverage right now. This is the point. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a channel by any means. I'm not trying to look like I'm trying to get caught off of this. You know, I am local. I wanted to cover it. I kind of wish that I covered it before they came, but I was just kind of like, I don't know, it just wasn't. Well, popped up. By that time, there were a lot of them here. I came, like, right time I was like, okay, I'm going to go down there. Literally that night, FBI closed the street down, JLR arrived. I mean, it's just the way it works. So for now, it makes sense to cover it. Like, oh, I'm going to drive by, going up that way, actually going up to the mall that's up by there. So I'm just going to kind of record the area for you guys, drive by all the locations, Annie's, later on, if I can, again, if they want to share this, I'll go live from the National Park and not on network. wait for like giant rat.
Yes, you're welcome. I was trying to get back here, but my parking spot got jacked. I'm pretty sure I get frowned upon because I'm a YouTuber, not a news reporter. Go a little bit higher, actually.
They want to be media, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't look like there's not.
No, that was okay. That spot worked.
I guess that's just what media does. I guess media just, when they're on a case, this is kind of how they handle it. They kind of just go out there and they film every hour. And I've noticed they don't necessarily use all the footage they film, because I did some interview for like the but they just questions because we were locals and we said we didn't live in the area, but that I frequented often, and I was like, this is old ladies go missing too because they wander off, they have dementia. But this isn't that. That's the weird thing about it, There's a Honda. Is that Dolly? He has a Sonata. It could have been Dolly. And JLR stream. We've got 2 lagging streams, and I've been going for about an hour and 23 minutes. Oh, looks like everyone. You get multi angles of everybody. Like I said, I ain't going down there anytime motherfucking soon. At least not walking or waddling. The whole fucking. We got like 40 fucking angles right now. Even Dolly like crouches down. I'm like, why didn't I crouch down? They probably wouldn't have been able to get back up in my pregnant ass. That's why. But as of right now, it's just again watching the. See how that reporter is over here right now, putting up those things in the window? That's what you do when people are like, I live in my car or whatever. We are sleeping in there. I mean, that's a good way to keep. It's a bit much for just keeping the sun out. We saw a couple people sleeping in the car, reporter wise. Like, they gotta do what they gotta do. The story that nothing is happening currently. But hopefully something will pop off. I do appreciate all coming through and watching with me. That's all I got for now. I will see you guys. I'll catch you on the flip side if anything happens. If not, I will probably catch you guys. Have a great rest of your day. And please subscribe to my second channel. Again, link is in my main channel's chat box. Subscribe to all 3 of these channels. Both chats have their links. And yeah, definitely check out Dad's God Live. He has, he's definitely getting up there with the views. As is 857. JLR is still holding strong at like 27K. So thank you for all that did come in here and watch with me. I know you can watch much bigger channels, so I do appreciate it. And we're doing the damn thing. Maybe I'll get back into true crime in a sense. We'll see. For now, or maybe I'll just local stuff, more or less, because it definitely is nice to the ground. But anyways, they're lagging back. I'm lagging bad. So I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye. Happy Valentine's.